meetings, the body of believers just getting together and
gathering together to encourage each other and to worship Jesus.
Or just a time when we're all together and get to worship Jesus together. And
I see different gifts when the local Assembly of Saints gets together, and
it's an opportunity to dive deeper into some stuff that we can be working on as a people.
You know, like it says in Hebrews, don't forsake that.
Sometimes it doesn't look a lot different than like a softball team at a Wendy's.
Encouragement and teaching and people sharing songs.
You know, we might break bread together and
this person expressing their weakness and how much they need to change.
Sometimes that can manifest itself in a time when we need to, you know, really be taught something.
Solid teaching, and then there can be some help in applying it.
You know, it may just be that we're there to worship God and to express our hearts of gratitude for His forgiveness.
There is definitely like a common undercurrent of everything that's going on.
There's an ebb and flow of what we are talking about.
I've got a road to run on a topic that I didn't know, I wasn't able to figure out on my own.
It's always something that can be applied like right then and that, which I guess is everything.
Sometimes, you know, the whole church will rent some building.
we just usually, you know, all just find a huge place we can all fit in and just get in a circle. And
Jesus being the center. And I think that's what I think of when I think of sitting in a circle, and why I would rather us not sit like in rows and files where we can't even see each other and we're just looking up at a stage or whatever. I mean, I guess from a practical standpoint, I can't think of any other way to sit.
There's no main speaker. There's no, the people who do speak don't go up front to a podium.
There's no planned day of when meetings are, but it's out of the overflow of people's hearts.
Spontaneous and, hey, could everyone get together and we can go over this thing that I read that I thought was amazing.
They'll send a message out to other people, and
it could be somebody has a thought beforehand, like, let's read this. And even if there is, it could be that we get there and somebody else has something more urgent, and you know, we end up talking about something else, and that's totally fine. Everybody's happy with that.
There's an aliveness to it.
We want to be nourished by Jesus. That's what we're there for. And if we're going to show up and, well, we were supposed to read Ephesians tonight, and Jesus has something else to say, and we're going to read Ephesians because we were supposed to read Ephesians, it's going to be dead.
I think the main difference is how free and fluid it all is. I think that's a good word for it, is fluid.
For example, the other night, some households worked together and we read a few chapters out of Joshua. Different people pointing out things that had really struck them.
It's never pre-programmed. It's never, you know, here's what we're going to do and here's who's going to do it.
There's really an expectation when the church is together that everyone comes prepared. You know, maybe it's not something big, maybe it's not some big teaching, but everybody has something in mind that could encourage the body of Christ and you know, edify the people around them.
Imagine having 200 people and there being order in life.
That there's no expectation that one individual will lead the way, or even a panel of people, or you know, a committee or anything like that. It's everybody comes prepared to share something that Jesus has planted in them.
we all come with things to share if it seems right, whether it's something from the Bible that we read that morning, or a song we'd like to sing, or something we had been thinking about in our own lives.
If each person is really allowing Jesus to be who he wants to be inside of them, and they're not blocking the way with sin and with laziness and with just dullness.
That, you know, I haven't been sloppy with, you know, just doing whatever I want to do and not caring about where God is leading us.
Really beautiful things can emerge, and if everyone comes in with a posture of purity and offering what God's been doing inside of them, it's really, really amazing.
Knowing that God brings revelation to his people during those times, and I've seen it.
When you zoom out and look at, you know, if I think back on when we've met together, it really is, everything is tied together. So there is leadership, you know, there is direction to it, and there is a theme and a purpose, but no one person could have done that by themselves with planning. You know, it really is Jesus working through and talking through individual people there to come to form a single thought that we can act on and we can follow through with.
It becomes evident how woven everyone is together, and the things that God is working into person A over here is, oh, it's connected to what I was learning, and I've been telling these 5 other people I've been trying to change the last week, and it's all connected. And you start seeing that when people come into it ready to give and let the things God has put inside of them shine and serve other people.
That's all examples of different gifts. That's Jesus illuminating different things as we're together that wouldn't have been seen or illuminated.
When everybody is focused on drawing everybody up higher, encouraging one another instead of wanting to have something to say, I think Jesus will honor that, and he will provide the touch that can really make a difference in people's lives.
200 people together and nobody talks over each other and there's order and peace.
No chaos. No chaos.
I think it would be chaotic if we weren't all listening for what Jesus had in mind.
If we're really able to stay in tune with him and we're really letting him lead, we're not going to have chaos. And it's not going to be a free-for-all because he doesn't do that.
It's everyone's connected to Jesus and listening. It's not just everyone spouting off what they've learned. It's just really coming from daily life and Jesus is orderly, and so we are orderly too.
None of us just decides independently, I'm going to start talking about this or whatever. It's always a submission to each other and an offering of a thought or a poem or a song. And we're always working together. I might ask a brother next to me if it seemed okay to share, or I might pick up the microphone and ask everybody if they mind me sharing something or asking a question or whatever.
When Jesus is in charge, there really is an order that men cannot artificially create.
We know Jesus does have a specific thought for us. We're not just throwing random things out there.
There's a theme, usually, like not anything that anybody ever said.
There's something that we all kind of latch on to.
We've found that Jesus has a thought, and he has a thought, and he's been expressing it in multiple people, and they all have the same thing they're thinking about, and they all are able to hit it from different angles, and we're all able to learn. And
nobody talked about ahead of time what we're going to do or wrote anything down or said, you know, the theme tonight is faith. Nobody ever says anything. That's corny.
It's not like we have a planned, this is what this evening's going to be about, this is what this evening is going to be about. We just kind of see what needs to happen, and everything just kind of flows.
You never know what you're going to get.
I wouldn't say it's comfortable, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
That's kind of the fun part, is you never know what's going to happen.
meetings can sometimes be a little bit scary because there's nothing for sure.
That's why it's kind of fun when we all sit down, is what's on the table for today.
It can be a little bit uncomfortable at times, but it's worth it because
he wants to demonstrate his life through his people. And
if I'm really relaxed and I really know
Jesus runs the meeting.
he's the boss over this, it's okay. It's going to be good.
I mean, it was clear that Jesus said, call no man father, teacher. He didn't want someone to be leading the show.
Any given day, you could see one person talk or this person talk.
When no one's making the plan of what's going to happen, what's going to be sung, what's going to be said, and what the topic's going to be.
There's a life and a fluidity about it, even though we're still learning and growing, so we still stumble along the way.
Sometimes it can still feel a little bit scattered in the thoughts, and then someone will be able to just pull it together in a way that we can understand and remember and put into practice.
There's other gifts that help, I think, bring clarity to something that someone is sharing, or help make it practical.
Out of experience or the gifts that Jesus has given them,
People will give vision and will help us.
no specific one person that you're just expecting to talk.
It's very clear in an institutional setting who the leader is. And it's very obvious to everybody in the room. And when we meet together, it's not like there's a single person that anyone could point to, really, that, that's the person who's always going to say something. It really is, Jesus working through individuals, and there are definitely those who have clear vision to share for people, gifts that are there that have really been helpful, I think, for a lot of us to be able to just kind of have that global view of what's important in God's mind and how we can be applying that in our day-to-day lives and the situations that we come against. But there's certainly never a single human person that you could point to that you'd say, that's the head honcho.
Provision and the grace for gifts that are in God's people that are surrounding him. Not only is he providing for those gifts, but those people are then essentially returning those gifts to him.
Nobody's squashed. Nobody's, forgotten or left out, or there's nothing like that. And yet there's no expectation except that you did come prepared, that you did come, with honor in your heart for Jesus and making things right, and looking and pursuing God for your family, not just for yourself, so that you can do okay.
It's so much better than like a family reunion where everyone's like standing around like awkwardly trying to make small talk about things, but like actually having a purpose and a commonality and a reason for life.
That we're here for each other.
Just living life with people it's just super fresh when it's God's people.
When we're all together, the children are right there on blankets and having bottles and crying, and I'm just glad that we could be a part of that from a very, very young age, and we weren't sent off in a room. Even talking to Jesus with us, and they might not know what's being said or what it all means, but I know it takes a lot of work to help the children be quiet and listen, but I'm really thankful that I was always able to be there even before people even really knew that I was listening. I still remember specific things that really touched my heart. Knowing what they want their future to be, having that before them.
But meetings aren't the center of our life together.
It's every day that they're involved in the adults' lives. From a young age, seeing the life of Jesus walked out.
It's never been this event that we have to wait for or something. It's definitely not the center of how I live on a day-to-day basis. Put this on the calendar and look forward to it as the next time that I can see these folks. It's not that at all. It's more of a outworking and like an expression of what we're all moving towards together